el doctor me dijo, congratulations, me dijo, un Superboy, me dijo. Entonces yo le dije, un Superboy. Entonces yo esperaba un niño chiquitito, porque yo pues dije, como Superboy, y ya me voy caminando, y que vi ahí en una ¿cómo se camita? A un baby chiquito, y yo dije, ese es el mío. Cuando de repente, no, el doctor ya lo traía, y entonces ya era grandote, y la ropa no la pudimos usar, lo que le dieron a ella para el baby shower.
No le quedó.
My sisters took a lot of the clothes, and put it on their dolls. So Eddie didn't get to wear a lot of the newborn stuff because he didn't fit in them, but yeah, he was a big baby.
If I was a cute little kid, I would show you the painting I did for you, but I'm up in the air. I'm not here and not there. If I was a
Anna was more of laid back a little bit.
She was always the oldest. I mean, I remember she would take us everywhere.
You know, if he wanted something, he was spoiled. You know, I'll buy it. And to this day, he gives me those little sad eyes, and I'm like, all right.
I was more like, because I used to take care of them when my mom would work, so I was kind of like their mom. And at one time he would call me Aunt Lily. For a long time he would be calling me Aunt Lily because I would be taking care of him and Maggie.
So we would always be afraid of her, because if we misbehave at the meetings or anything, like, she will hit us. So we always had to obey, even to this day.
It tended more like him and Maggie were the ones that were closer.
Oh my God. They were like fight a lot, but then after a while it would get quiet, and we would come and look in the room, and they were asleep together in the bed. They were hugging each other, and they had fallen asleep. And then they would get up and start playing again. So it was like a hate and love relationship until now.
We got along. I was very protective of him when we were little. Like, at school, I'll make sure like nothing will happen to him. We did get along. It's just like in our teens, when we started growing up, I just didn't want him around me, because of course you're growing up, you start liking boys, you don't want your little brother around you, because he was always like my little conscience. I would call him my Jiminy Cricket, because he would tell me, oh, I'm gonna tell my dad.
Sí, cuando ya estaba más grandecito, como había tantos niños en esa congregación, yo siempre trataba de alejarme de los demás niños para que no se me pusiera inquieto. Y esa vez estuvimos sentados y empezaba a ver quién veía, y empezaba a saludar. Con la manita empezaba a saludar, y entonces su papá lo estuvo observando de que no prestaba atención. Entonces fue y lo levantó y se agarró de la silla. Y ya su papá lo cargó y y gritaba, Jehová, Jehová, ayúdame, ayúdame, porque sabía lo que iba a pasar.
He was very getting into mischief all the time. I remember one time my mom bathed him, put on his meeting clothes, and it was white, and then he ended up going outside, coming back full of dirt.
We shared a room because we only had 3 rooms in here in the house, so me and my brother, of course my side was always clean, because I'm very OCD, very clean since I was little. His side was always dirty. So at night he would get me mad because he would chew gum, he would eat.
She didn't like any noise, didn't like anybody moving, snoring, and I used to snore and I used to move. So she used to throw stuff at me or tell me to be quiet when we were sleeping. And then this one time she just got me upset because I couldn't even move, and so I did it on purpose. I took a piece of gum with me and I put it in my mouth and I started chewing it at night, and she told me stop it, and I said fine. So I took out the piece of gum and I threw it across the room.
It landed on my hair, and my hair was so long, and once I felt it I was like, oh no. So I went to my mom, and then she said she had to probably cut it.
When we would try to get him into trouble or something, he knew right away. Okay, you're gonna tell on me? I'm gonna tell on you on this. Oh man. Okay, then we couldn't, or he would find out things and he would, okay, give me money, and I won't say nothing. You know, he would be good. He was good. He was a good blackmailer. It's a good blackmailer.
La primera vez que lo subí a la plataforma, porque él ya está un poquito más grandecito, pero tenía como unos 4 años más o menos. Cuando ya subió a la plataforma, llegó y como que era un movie star, empezó a saludar a todas las hermanas y le hacía dengues y todo. Y a todos los hermanos riéndose los tenía. Entonces yo ya me arrepentí de haberlo subido y le dije, ya no te vuelvo a subir. Yo recuerdo en ocasiones cuando ya tenía la edad que yo lo llevaba al servicio, sorprendía a los amos de casa porque era un niñito chiquito y a veces me hacía que quería, me jalaba el saco porque él decía que quería leer.
Well, Eddie didn't know how to read, but he knew the scripture, and he must have been like 2 or 3, and so he knew where it was in the Bible. He'd open it up and then he'd read it to the householder, and the householder was like, he knows how to read. And my dad said, no, he's learned the scripture, but they were very impressed, and they were able to, place magazines and, talk to people. They would open up.
Y le decía a una hermana, que ya murió ella, le decía, Guayito, ¿qué vas a hacer cuando seas grande? Voy a ser precursor y voy a ir a Betel. Oh, sí, mijo, sí, voy a ir a Betel y voy a ser precursor. Y siempre la hermana le decía, ¿dónde está mi precursor?
He was a good kid, in the congregation, very, took his responsibilities well, was very active out in service, made arrangements to go out with brothers, didn't wait for us to take him with us, or, he'd make his own arrangements.
La frase favorita de él era esa: los precursores tienen hambre, ya quieren comer. Ya las hermanas ya sabían y se lo llevaban.
Because my brother was very, wasn't not a normal kid, I could say. I mean, in the sense that he would be 5 years old and he could carry a conversation with like an adult. It wasn't like a child. It was kind of weird.
Yo le compré un guante para cachar y hasta le compré porque yo lo quería hacer como un hombrecito, ¿verdad? Y él no quería. Casi siempre se la venía al cuarto, pero venía a dibujar. Lo encontraba ya cuando se me desaparecía de ahí, cuando estábamos jugando. ¿Dónde está Eri? Estaba aquí, estaba dibujando.
My brother always had a really imagination. He loves to draw. He always, even for our projects at school, he'd draw us pictures.
He would draw for me and he'd do things for me, and I'd present it like that to school.
So he sat at the meeting, and instead of putting Jehovah or Jehovah, he was just drawing, making little stories.
He liked to dance a lot as a little kid. And even at a friend's wedding, he had a line of sisters lined up because they all wanted to dance with him because he was a good dancer.
En la escuela predicaba y era muy aplicado en la escuela en las cosas de Jehová. Una vez que llegué, llegó al carro y me dice, espéreme porque estoy dando un estudio. Y entonces se regresó con su libro de historias bíblicas y tenía un grupo de niños ahí sentados enseñándoles del grupo de la historia bíblica, y decía que todos los días estudiaba, y ya lo esperé hasta que llegaron los papás de los niños y ya los levantaron y él ya se vino. Ahora sí, ya nos podemos ir.
I got baptized when I was 14. It was July 25th, 1992 at Dodger Stadium. I decided that I wasn't going to hang out with some of the brothers and sisters in the hall because they weren't doing good. So I started hanging out with more friends in school. And that's when I kind of started thinking about going to college and higher education and earning good money, and even going to New York, going to art school, and all those things. And I brought it up to my dad briefly, and I think he started noticing my decline in service.
pero lo analizamos con una publicación de la Sociedad de los Peligros y las cosas que hay cuando uno va a una escuela de esas de arte y todo y acá. Entonces él lo leímos y en el siguiente 2 semanas él me dijo, ¿sabe qué, papá? Y ya no, mejor no voy a ir a la escuela de arte. Mejor en cuanto me gradúe, yo voy a hacer precursor, voy a meter mi aplicación como precursor regular. Y así lo hizo.
He applied in June and he was gone in August, so it was very quick. So I don't think we even had a chance to react.
Pues primera vez que se separaba de nosotros, fue triste, ¿verdad? Pero a la misma vez contento porque iba a servir a donde él siempre había deseado. Nos acostumbramos, más las hermanas sí lo extrañaban más, ¿verdad? Más Maggie, porque era siempre más apegada a él.
Really depressed, really sad, but I maintain myself to keep really busy because, of course, I mean, Jehovah, but he always would call me every Friday. We always kept in touch.
He was homesick because it was his first time leaving the family. And I remember in January is my parents' anniversary and he wanted to come home to surprise him. And so he called me and I was at work. And he says, can you buy me the ticket? And I'm going to come home and surprise him and then I'll come back. But I knew he was really homesick. And I knew if he came home, he wasn't going to go back. So I said, no, I'm sorry. As much as it hurts me, but you've made a promise to Jehovah and you have to keep it. And the promise is you have to be there at least a year, your year. So I think, we're going to see you because we're going to go visit you in June. So just wait until we go visit you.
Nos habíamos quedado de ver en un restaurante que está enfrente de ahí de donde está la sociedad. Ahí nos íbamos a ver. Y así, cuando llegamos en el avión, lo fuimos directamente allá al restaurante a esperarlo para que la hora del lunch. Y yo, pues cuando ni cuenta me di que él era, porque estaba bien delgadito. Parecía, era un palillo. Y entonces yo que cuando lo vi yo, hasta ganas de llorar me dieron. Dije, se me está muriendo aquí.
When I returned from Bethel, I was 21 and 2 years had gone by. A lot had changed here as well as, myself personally. Sometimes you make decisions and those decisions don't work out the way you planned them to be. During that time period, I still had a lot of issues with leaving Bethel and returning home. And one of those things was just getting over the fact that going to Bethel wasn't what I had thought it would be. And I kept thinking, what if? And I never was moving forward in my life. I was stuck. And I felt like, if you make mistakes or if you go back and look at all those mistakes that you've made, and you continuously look at those and you never move forward, your life is stuck. You're basically not moving anywhere. And that's how I felt. So I really had to let that go.
He would tell me all the time, since we were always really close and best friends, that he still needed to do something more to fulfill, to serve Jehovah.
His goal wasn't just to stay here. He had to do something else. So he put a goal of either going to serve another congregation of another language, or going and serving where the need was great. He always had those goals.
He was named elder when he was still in the Spanish congregation with us. I know it was hard for him because mostly the congregation had seen him grown from a child to an adult. And sometimes brothers and sisters won't give you the respect as an elder or your friends because they've known you since you were a kid.
it was around 2007 that I decided I was going to go to sign language. We were getting ready or I had just gone on a vacation. I went to Argentina, and a brother had invited me to go with him. I was excited about that, and I got the opportunity to go out with the friends in service. We did some unassigned territory. It was brief, but that experience kind of helped me just view, like, I can do more. You know, I want to do more. I want to be a missionary. I want to travel. And the only way I'm going to be able to do this is if I set goals for myself. At that time, circumstances were that financially I couldn't really move somewhere and go serve somewhere. So I ended up deciding, well, what's the closest thing to being a missionary in this area?
A sister from New York, a friend of ours, had told him that she started going to the sign. And then he got interested, and I saw him in his room, and he had books and everything, and I'm like, what is this sign language? And I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting too, because I was thinking the same thing.
And it's funny because May had mentioned to me before that during her meeting, they had mentioned, you know, being in sign language is kind of like being a mini missionary because your territory is so big.
And then when he was able to go to the sign language, he was really happy. I could see it.
Was all yellow. Your skin, oh yeah, your skin and bones turn into something beautiful. And you know I love you so. You know I love you so.
When he left the congregation to go to the sign language, I saw the difference, and that helped him mature even more.
From then on, I got to see a lot of blessings. I got to see our congregation split and create El Monte, and then I got to opportunity to move to El Monte and help out in that congregation as well. And then from there, we split again, and now I'm in Ontario, so I got the opportunity to be in 3 different congregations within the last 5 years and just see the growth within each congregation, and it's been a real blessing to be a part of that.
It's changed a whole lot because a lot of brothers are joining now, a lot more families, a lot from the Spanish areas, a lot from our area. So yeah, it's grown a lot.
I've been feeling lately like my life was going into a routine where, although I enjoy being in sign language and I enjoy being here, it feels like I'm going back into the same, not rut, but just in the same position again.
And then finally, you know, he visited Memphis last year, and then he liked it.
And I knew a friend, contacted a circuit overseer who's over there. He gave me more information, contacted the coordinator over there. He gave me more information. And just as I got information from each person, it just felt like this was right. This situation was right. And the time is right for me to move forward and do this and start a new chapter of my life.
Pues como padre uno tiene que apoyarlo en esta decisión final que él ha tomado. Todos estamos contentos, aunque lo vamos a extrañar mucho. Puede ser que habrá que hacer ajustes como familia, pero estamos contentos y esperamos que Jehová le bendiga.
I know that he's doing something great for him, because he's accomplishing a lot of his goals, and whatever he does, he sets his mind to it, he does it. Takes a little bit of time, but he gets there.
We're going to miss him, of course, but as long as he's serving Jehovah, and that's the motive and the reason to go, to move, and to help others, it's a nice goal, achievable goal for him.
A veces que amigos nos pueden aconsejar o familiares nos pueden aconsejar, pero a veces nos entra por un oído, nos sale por otro, pero la motivación uno mismo tiene que motivarse cada día. Le deseo lo mejor y que Jehová lo cuide y que también él sepa cuidarse.
I came to terms and I realized that he's doing it because he wants to go and serve somewhere else and help other people to learn about Jehovah. And it hurts because I'm not going to see him every day and he's not going to be with me, but I know he's doing it for Jehovah.
It's hard. It'll be hard. But when you have a chance, read. Sorry.
Lo voy a extrañar, pero a la misma vez estoy contenta porque está logrando lo que él ha querido, ¿verdad? Entonces en eso, pues, mientras sirva a Jehová, lo vamos a apoyar todo el tiempo y ayudarlo en cuanto si nos necesita, en lo que podamos.
Want to cut for a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. Let's try it again.
We're still going to be a phone call away, and it's just to remember to focus on Jehovah. And we're there for him. And we could always go visit him and he can come back and visit us.
This week at our meeting, one of the kingdom melodies that we sang, for some reason this kingdom melody has come up twice already in the last few weeks. I can't even sing it because it really touches me. But it's kingdom melody number 85. And sorry, but English speaking brothers, but I love it in Spanish better. The words are just beautiful. And it just says that, Jehová, te cuidará en sus alas, so that's what I hope for him. And that's what I want. And I know Jehovah will take care of him, as that kingdom melody says.
He left me motivation that not to quit, especially sign language, to still keep on doing my goals. And I have a lot of other goals, is to go and serve somewhere else maybe, or it doesn't matter how old you are, and you're single, and the older you are, you could still serve Jehovah no matter what age you are.
I just figure that if I place a goal and I decide that this is something I want to accomplish, that I'm going to go ahead and accomplish it. I've always been like that. I've always been goal oriented. It said, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to work to my 100% best to get it completed. And, not if there's obstacles, I'm aware of it. I'm just going to try to get through it. And I'm aware that there's going to be obstacles. I'm aware that it's going to be difficult. But at the same rate, if I don't do this and I don't challenge myself, then I'm not really accomplishing anything. So I feel like I need to do this, and it's going to be, for the best. And although I'm leaving a lot of my friends and my family behind, I feel like this is something that I want to accomplish, and I'm really looking forward towards it. It's something I'm really happy about.
One time I'm remembering when I was gonna put away the ironing board, and I kept trying to close it and it wouldn't close, and I go, gosh, what's in it, and I kept doing it like 3 or 4 times. Then when I realized my brother's head was inside the ironing board, and I almost was choking him. But he wouldn't say anything, and he was just like, and I kept closing it, and I almost killed my own brother.